Welcome to Bookwood. Hi, I'm glad you chose to spend some time with me. It is Monday and the second week of Tar has begun. And it has begun with a new prompt drop, or at least with the end of leg 3. And unfortunately, I didn't catch up for this leg. I am still reading Ravens of Avalon by Diana L. Paxon, which is based on the notes of Marianne Zimmer Bradley. And this is in the Avalon cycle series. I have now read since yesterday, not that much. If you want to know what I read before, you can always go back to my vlog for week 1. And I had read 1/3, so I did read quite much over yesterday evening. And I feel that we are getting closer to the big events in this book. So we have been following Boudica when she arrived on Mona, which is the island on which the priests now and druids now live. So they only go back to the Tor and Avalon, where they first arrived, when they have special celebrations. They live on this other island where they teach children of the nobility, but also some children chosen amongst the general population. A whole bunch of subjects. Some of these children go back home without becoming a druid or a priestess. Others become one of those. Boudica will meet Lianon, and she's already a priestess, but both will become close friends. Lianon is not sure how her role on Mona will evolve. She could become the next high priestess or the next oracle. In that case, she prefers to stay pure in all ways. But it's not certain, and if she could be certain, maybe she would choose to create a bond with Ardanos, who is a druid she is deeply in love with. At this point of the book, she still don't know what side her life is going to go to, so she's still hesitating. We will see how Rhiannon will be the one to perform the rites that accepts Boudica into the priestesshood. But after this rite, Boudica chooses to go back to her family because the Romans are coming and her family needs her. Most especially because they want her to marry a prince, that to create an alliance between two branches of the Iceni tribe. She will go through with this marriage, and she will in a first time be very happy with it, until she gives birth to a stillborn baby son, in which the sadness that she feels and the sadness of her husband will drive them apart for quite a long time. And during all this time, we will also be following Lianon, who is on her own path. After that, a first big battle around the Thames is lost by the Celts, and that the Romans have taken over a part of Britain, and some of the tribes have had to become members of the Roman Empire, which is also the case for Boudica's tribe. Lianon will be following along the rebels, the Britons that are still free and that keep trying to convince the Romans to go away, they always go further back into the hills. And they hope that at some point the Romans will say, well, it's not worth all these men who are dying here. Let them have their island, we retrieve. But unfortunately, that will not happen. Rhiannon will go battle by battle as a healer. And in a very big one of these, she will think Ardenos dies while she's saved by the leader of the rebels. She will go back to Avalon, and on that way she will be the first in a battle to conjure the mists that will later surround all Avalon as a help for the Britons, the Celts. When she arrives to Avalon, she will dream that Boudica needs her, and she will cross the whole country to go and find Boudica, who is pregnant again. And she will help, and this time a little girl will be born, and this will bring Boudica and her husband back together. We will follow how their life settles in again, and we are now at a point that Boudica has a second little girl and her husband has become king of the Iceni tribe. The tribes that are under the Roman Empire starts to want a rebellion. Rome takes too much money. Rome has taken away their swords, which is a very heavy problem for the Celts. It is a tradition to pass on swords from fathers to sons, and so they took this very badly. And voices are stirring that they should come to help to the rebellion, and that altogether they can once and for all get rid of the Romans. So I don't know how this will end up. I know for sure that they will not get rid of the Romans, but I don't recall how this goes on. I think we approach more and more the moment that Boudica really becomes the Boudica. So I'm very impatient to see that. It's Tuesday and we meet again. I have installed us at my desk again. Since yesterday evening we got the new leg, and I need to update my reading journal for it. So this leg is for the Shire. I really love the Shire, but I had a hard time finding different stuff to decorate my journal spread. So I went with this little combination that I'm laying out here. I get, yay! Got 5 of them. They're running around all the time. So I didn't have like hills or stuff, but I think this represents the coziness and the nature and the more rural society that is the Shire. Here it is. I will go with that. In the end, the most important is that I know where the different decorations stand for. Whilst I'm doing this, I have had some time to read, and I have like 100 pages left in Raven of Avalon. I still highly enjoy this read. But I think we'll talk more about it tomorrow when I will probably finish it. So it also means that I am still behind, but I still feel like if I can finish this book, maybe there is a chance that I catch up this round. Another problem I have is that the book that I picked out beforehand for this round, my reservation of it didn't came in time. So I picked out The Return to the Moriozaki Library. Unfortunately, didn't came in. So I have had a little tour on my Kindle, and I found this cozy fantasy. It is called Greenteeth, and it has like almost 4 stars on Goodreads. It sounded nice. I did a quick overview of the summary, and we should be in the head of like what is considered a monster by humans. And that's about all that I remember of reading diagonally through like a lot of summaries of my Kindle books. So we'll see. We need a cozy book. How did I phrase it over here? A cozy or a comfort read. So I bet I'll be starting that tomorrow. Maybe I should add in already. So since I got my things taken out, I decided it would also be a good moment to put together a Face of Weekend spread. I hadn't made one before because last year Face of Weekend was not on a good date for me. Still is not. The 15th is Niklas's birthday, and he will turn 10. But since my 2 oldest will be at their dads, we'll be celebrating this next weekend, which means that this weekend is free. Also, they have announced rain for this weekend. And thus I have decided that I could prepare for it, and we'll see where I end up. So what I'm going to do is make a little spot for it. So also, since I don't have a lot of books laying around at home, I will need to go to the library. That will be, I think, Thursday. I'll take you along with me so I can get some books for this. That also means that I will do a few rolls for the game before that, so that I know what books I'm going to look for. I'll do, I think, 5 of them, because I intend to go look for easy reads, novellas, or like smaller books, 200, 250 pages, I also would like to have some graphic novels, maybe. We'll see what I can find. But it's hard to film like the rolling and all in the library, so that we'll be doing home. I'm starting off by making a little Dutch door. I really like this principle of a little Dutch door. I've made one for another readathon that I'll talk to you later about. So I wonder, you'll see this after the Face of Weekend, but I wonder, did you actively prepared some books? What were your goals? And since we are at the end of it, what did you realize of these goals? So on the other side, I want some place to write down the prompts. This one will be too short. I will get my stamps out later. I will do this off camera because I will need to go all the way in the closet that holds my phone right now to get my prompts, and I will get in with my stamps to make prompts and then numbers, a little bit like I got it here. I think it's this one. Yep. I think that this set of stencils was a very good purchase. I use them like all the time. It's so way easier and quicker for doing nicer fonts. But then I always forgot to use one that my husband 3D printed for me. I always forget that I can plan a completely different font and have him print it and use in a stencil. So I have a question for you guys. Last week on Friday, I was able to go outside again to the woods, and I filmed while walking. And I wondered, did you like that? Because we have found out that with the GoPro that was laying around, I could, instead of having to hold it, I could just have it with some type of harness, have it stay and I could use it to make like maybe as how it's called semi videos. So I could go on a walk and turn the camera on, like in the woods or maybe even in the village at some point, and film my whole walk. And I could do like I did last week, describe, for example, in a book wrap-up, the books that I've read at that moment. I can add a picture, like editing, or take the books with me and have them shown in front of the camera. I wonder, would you appreciate that? Like for one wrap-up, or maybe for like all wrap-ups? They tend to be always longer. Like when I saw that my last one was 52 minutes, I was like, oh, so much. I must admit, it's a video that I wouldn't watch in one time or in one go as well. And it was like 16 minutes of my stats updating. And then we had the update of the memory spread for Hackathon that took some time. And then we also had all the rest, like almost 45 minutes was books. And I was wondering, if I could make that shorter. That would mean that maybe my stats video would become a video on its own. Because if I had to add it to my next bullet journal, then it is not the month next, but like the one for June would come, the stats would come in August. Because my July setup comes out before July, obviously. But that's another point. So the big question is, would you like to have like almost an hour walk? My walks, daily walks, are like an hour. But then an hour from my home and back to my home. So maybe that would not be included. But during this walk, it would be like if you were walking next to me and seeing the forest whilst talking about the books. I'm curious, what do you think about that? So I have stuck to my site decoration. So one other thing that I want to do. So I have been making vertical notes, sections. So I want to keep this the same to have it cohesive. So one of the things that I regret about this journal is the very small dot grid, and it is not even. So it's dots in nice lines, but then it's not always the same distance. I noticed that my camera didn't film my dice rolls. I must have not pushed hard enough on the bottom. So unfortunately, it's not something that we can easily redo, but I will try to go back over the prompts. So the first one, we had 4, I think. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, a book that I own. The next one was 2, and I went 1, 2 to an author you have read from before. I think then we had 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, a book that you don't know much about. And we had 4 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, a new to you author, and then we had 5, and we went with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, an animal on the cover. And it seems that we will not have to go to the library. I did find some books in my stack. A book that I own, I have picked out this Wayward Pines book 1. I found it in a book box and I wanted to try it out. It is like 300 pages, so that should be fine. It's also a small one, so that should be fine. An author I have already read from before. I have taken The Secret Garden. I have read the manga and the light novel, and somehow it came back to mind not so long ago, and I decided to reread it. So this is a good moment to reread the manga. The light novel is 400 pages. Then I need a book I don't know much about, and I don't know how I can show the cover of a book on Kindle. This is new to me. Let's see. Yes. Crime sur la Lune by Lunriel Golden Oak. I came across this book whilst I was looking for my cozy read, and I ended up downloading it to my Kindle. I don't know really much about it. What attracts me was the fact that it is set on the moon, and it reminds me of 2 books by Emmanuel Chastelier that I've read, not translated to English. And I like the moon setting, so I decided to at some point read this one, so that will be a good moment. And then a new to me author I have picked also on my Kindle, this one, Les Murmures de la Forêt by Aurélie Vallin. I have added this. I don't know anything about it. It's a thriller. That's all I know. And we'll see. So it's a good moment to read this one. Both are around 200 pages. And then you never know, but if we get to it with an animal on the cover, I would like to read Bambi. This is from the collection I read a lot from, with this images in. I have set it partly aside to read with my kids, but before I read it with them, I want to know if it is a version that is nice to them. It's Wednesday and we are on a walk in the forest since we have excellent weather today. The kids had no school this afternoon, so it was the ideal time to go out. We saw some salamanders which is quite rare, at 2 pools in the forest. That was very exciting. We'll share some clips about them. And I am here just to tell you that I have finished, like I thought I would yesterday evening, Raven of Avalon. It was a fantastic book. I am still as emotional as I was the first time. I think the last time we left each other, we were at the wedding between Boudica and her husband. Boudica's husband dies and she takes his place as High King of the Iceni. She will be able to reunite almost all Brittany tribes to fight under one banner, and they will spend one summer going from Roman city to Roman city and destroy them all. They will be stopped at some point by a groupment of legions, and it is the ending of this battle that will decide of the Celts' fate. I will not tell you exactly how it ends. During all these fights, Boudica is helped and possessed by a goddess of war that is symbolized by the ravens. This is why this book is called Ravens of Avalon. Since this goddess was asked to do something for the Britons, we will then have the aftermath of what happened after this battle. And the ending of this book is very sad. It is worth the read, especially if you're interested in history, but it is still a fantastic historical fantasy. We are Thursday. For me it's about 5 p.m. now, and I am at the park sitting under a tree out of the sun because we have a heat wave going on. It's 32 degrees Celsius, and I am reading the book that I picked out for the cozy book, which is Greenteeth, and I am not that far in yet. My Kindle doesn't show page count, but like maybe 2 or 3 chapters, very at the start, so there's not much I can tell yet. I picked this book because of the title and the short summary that I had on Kindle, and I thought that it looked very interesting. We are reading out of a Jenny Greenteeth vision. Our Jenny found a woman that was thrown into her lake, which is a witch, and she is now conversing with her to hear her story and to decide to see what she's going to do. Is she going to kill her, to keep her alive, turn her into a Jenny? She hesitates. We are Friday and I am setting up the spread, or the little place for the next leg that dropped in the afternoon yesterday. This leg is for the wall that comes from the Game of Thrones. I'm not sure about the book title. If I'm not mistaken, it's different from the series title. I have not read nor seen the series, and I struggled a little bit to find in my huge stack of stationery something that could work. So I picked out a piece of Amazon box paper and a few stencils my husband made for me so that I could create this little image of a wall with them. So my husband did print this quite a while ago for me when I did a bullet journal theme of city walls and cats. He also printed a circle stencil for me, it is one that's very handy and that I use quite often. Winter is coming is if I think it's a quote that is used quite often for this series. And I had this nice winter landscape washi tape, so I used that to make a small decoration at the bottom. I also, you will see that in a second, added in a dragon. I don't know if this color of dragon is in the series, but the idea is, like I said for the Shire, that I can recall what the prompt was for. It is time to end up the second vlog of TAG, the second week of the Amazing Readathon, since we are, when I'm filming this, already halfway through the third week. And that's because I had some reading problems. After coming home the Thursday, that's the last clip you saw, and that I discovered that the next prompt has dropped, which was the prompt for The Wall and the book with a winter cover or chilling cover. I really got discouraged because I had only read the start of my Shire book, which is the cozy read. This is Greenteeth by Molly O'Neill. And I had a difficult week, and to be honest, in June life decided to throw itself at me, so things were not easy this month, still not are. But I got really discouraged, and I got in a reading slump. Yeah, I think it's the first one that I had in like a couple of years, and I didn't feel like reading at all. And I decided to take care of me first, and so after Thursday I didn't read anything up till Monday of this week, but then that's for the next vlog. So I may have prepared the face-off weekend in which I did not read anything, but I think that our own mental health comes first. And as an autistic person, I need to take especially care of my mental health, because we live with perpetual anxiety. We are very easily overwhelmed by a lot of not only sensory input, but also we are, or especially me, I'm very, very easily submerged by stress and overwhelmed by it. And if I would have pushed through, this would only get worse. So it's life, and I think it is it's too personal to share everything that led up to this, but let's say that it just happened. And I invite you to come back for the vlog of week 3 to see how I got out of this reading slump and how I got better and how I've been doing in that week. See you soon!